Good afternoon and welcome to the draw for the prediction game Knockout Cup quarterfinals. I am Paul and with me today is not Chris because he's down in Ely. This is Daryl.
Good evening.
One of our new players for this season who's had a reasonable start to the game. As we'll find out when I tell you some of the stats that are involved with the players in the draw. So there are 8 players left in the competition and each of them has a number assigned to them as there would be in the normal FA Cup.
Yeah.
Just as a pointer of interest, Daryl, none of last season's Knockout Cup quarter-finalists are in this season's quarter-finals, which is a shame for the likes of me and Chris, who were both in the quarter-finals last year and haven't made it this year. Would you like to tell folks about yourself?
Well, I work for East Coast Trains. I work on the catering department. I have done so for about 2.5 years now. It doesn't seem like very long at all, mate.
No, not at all. No.
And just looking, settling into the role a minute and hopefully progress up the ladder as time goes by.
You're going to be on the telly soon?
Yes, there's a new documentary starting on Sky One on November the 13th. All aboard with East Coast Trains. Some of the people followed I work with on a daily basis, so keep your eyes peeled and tune in.
Fame at last for one of our prediction gamers, apart from Lauro, of course, who is unfortunately famous, which is a great shame. So, as we saw in the last draw, we have the return of the ping pong balls in the shoebox. Just the 8 balls this time. We've lost balls 9-16. The balls are as follows. Number 1 is Tom Carney, 2 is Liam Breen, 3 is David Jones, 4 Sarah Hobbs, 5 is Daryl, 6 is Paul Hickson, 7 is Michael Jolliffe, and 8 is Pete Breen. Okay, the ties will be played this coming weekend, I believe, game week 10. Yeah, not much else to say really. Shall we start with the draw then? So, do you want to draw the first ball? If it's you, I'm going to start asking questions straight away.
It's ball number 2.
Ball number 2, let's show the camera that.
That's it.
I don't know if I can see it. I think it just about can. Ball number 2 is Liam Breen, one of our Scouse friends. There's plenty of them in the game. Liam beat Alison Fairclough, that's Chris's mother, in the qualifying round by 22 points to 19, and in the last 16 beat Ian Brown 37 points to 28. He currently sits 5th in the table, 7 points off the lead, which is me. He got 9 correct results in week 9, the week that we just had. The only one he missed out on, unbelievably, right? The only result he missed out on was Southampton's home win against Fulham. He predicted a Fulham win. Liam, have a look at yourself. Nobody's ever got 10 out of 10, and nobody ever will with stupid predictions like that. Okay, Liam will play. Number 8. That was not a fix. It's Pete Breen. Liam Breen versus Pete Breen there. A good battle of the Breen family. Pete in the last 16 beat Emily 40 points to 31 in a pretty high scoring tie. But he currently sits 18th, 3rd from the bottom of the overall table. He has predicted a lower percentage of draws than anybody else. 11%. Only 11% of his predictions have been draws. I might want to start predicting a few more draws and he might get us out of the table.
You know what they say about cups, don't you? And any underdog he's at the bottom of the league, but any underdog.
Well, exactly. I'm sure Liam will love Pete being described as an underdog against him. Okay, you want to draw the next ball?
Okay, now looking in the box, and it's number 3.
Number 3 is that's the wrong way.
That's the wrong way.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
that's better.
Not that it really matters because no number looks like 3. It's David Jones, the other Geordie involved in the game, apart from us two. Although he's now living in London, I think. Probably by the time he reads this, he beat Danny McCrory 27-25 in his last 16 tie. He currently sits 2nd last in 19th place. So you don't have to be doing particularly well in the league to be coming into the last 8 of the Knockout Cup, seemingly. He is doing better than last year when he finished 20th in the league. Not 20th. Finished last in the league. There weren't 20 players last season. And he lost in the first round of the Knockout Cup to me last year. Sorry, David, just had to get that in there. So he's having a better time this year. So David will face number 7. Number 7, which is Michael Jolliffe. Michael had a very tough tie against Rob Brown in the last 16, which went to a replay after a 41 points all draw in the first tie.
Couldn't predict that, could you?
In week 8. But yeah, Michael could, seemingly. He won the replay in week 9, 37 points to 21. Excellent. And he has the most correct results to date of any player with 53.
Wow.
which sits him in second place in the league overall, just 1 point behind yours truly. So it's a very tight battle for the lead at the moment, and Michael is having a strong season so far, so well done to you, Michael. Daryl, let's have a number, please.
They're looking.
It's like the FA Cup draw, but it isn't.
We have number 4.
Number 4 is the other half of Hobbsgate, is Sarah Hobbs. The other half being David Jones, if you're not familiar with that term, which some of you might not be. Sarah's had a very tough run the last 8 though, you know, because she's beaten last year's best 2 average scorers in the game. First round she beat Aaron, who effectively won the game last year before we ruined it with all the bonus points.
Yes.
31 points to 22, and then she beat Mark Lawrenson, 40 points to 21 in the last 16.
Somebody beating Lauro.
Absolutely. Well, we don't mind that at all, do we? No. And Lauro was effectively the best scorer last year because he couldn't score any bonus points, because unless he starts magically getting wind of the fact he's involved in this game, you know, he's not gonna start scoring any bonus points, is he? But Sarah sits 11th in the league at the moment, but she has played a Joker, which is a concern because she might drop down after other people being also play a Joker. So Sarah will face, in the quarterfinals, number 5, which is Daryl.
That's me.
Daryl beat Matt Toppin 25-24 in one of the closest ties in the last 16. Currently sitting 6th in the league, just 15 points off the lead. You've been in the top half all season so far of the overall table. You're the only new player to do that, which is
a bit of consistency, isn't it?
An excellent achievement, I would say, so far. Yeah, not a bad start at all. Right, so the final 2 balls, it doesn't really matter what order they come out in, but this is for the home draw in a game that has no home team. Number 1, Tom Carney, who, it has to be said, has had a really strong start to this season. He ended up with a really strong finish last season, and he's currently equal 3rd, just 3 points off the lead after beating Chris Fairclough, competition favourite, has to be said, after winning last year in the league. 44 points to 25. It was a resounding victory for Tom. He currently has the best low score of anybody with 20. He scored at least 22 points every week. Wow. As is Danny McCrory. They're joining that one. I dropped out of that stat last week after my hopeless 21. Tom will face, in the last 8, the only ball that's remaining, number 6, which is Paul Hickson, my conqueror in the previous round, 24 points to 21. He currently sits 17th overall, so 17th, 18th and 19th are all in the last 8 of the Knockout Cup. He has predicted more correct away wins than anyone else with 19. That was the same stat we came out with last time for him, but couldn't find anything else that was worth saying. So sorry for that, Paul. But yeah, well done, grudgingly, on beating me in the previous round. So yeah, that concludes the draw. I can't remember who's playing who, but there'll be some kind of recap that we'll put in electronically before this video makes it to the internet. This has been 8 minutes of your life you'll never get back again. I'm Paul. This was Daryl.
Ta-ra.
We'll see you next time.
Ta-ra indeed.
Goodbye. We're off to watch Newcastle get gubbed off Man City in the League Cup.